Well, here it is, a Friday, my usual motorcycle day. There are thunderstorms predicted on and off during the day, but I'm going to try and take a short, better than nothing ride anyway. Maybe out to Manassas, maybe not, we'll see. But anyway, I do want to get out on the bike. Got some dust in my eye. This is the Manassas train station in downtown Manassas. Where else? Why am I here? Well, back in 1971, I think it was, I was riding down Hollywood Boulevard, Sunset Boulevard with my dad on the way to Tower Records, and there was a great big billboard for Stephen Still's new album, which was entitled Manassas. And I remember looking at that billboard and thinking, Manassas? What's Manassas? And it had Stephen Stills and his band, and they were sitting outside of this building. Which was kind of cool. Old train station. Take a look inside. Railroad Heritage Gallery. There we go. There it is in the old days. And there it is in the even older days. Pretty cool.
Hey!
Hey!
What's up, man?
Hi. Taking a video. I'm taking a video. I have been to a lot of historic sites and I've been to a lot of visitor centers, but that was the weirdest welcome I have ever received. The woman behind the counter looked at me like I had just come off a spaceship or something. She had no idea why I would be there. Here's another Virginia Civil War Trails plaque. This one's entitled Wartime Manassas on to Richmond. I am at the corner of something or another. Well, the railroad train, the railroad track, and I'm not sure, the street center maybe. But anyway, there's the train station. I am having lunch at Foster's Grill. And back of me is the Harris Pavilion, a place I have been a number of times. It's an open air pavilion, and it's fun to see concerts there. But this is downtown Manassas. A nice little town, actually. As you can see, I'm in a cemetery. This gravel way is very treacherous. Could this be when I drop my bike? This is a street bike, not a dirt bike, or even a gravel bike. But what I wanted to see was this Confederate memorial, which is right in front of me. Ah, this is not just any cemetery. This is the Manassas Confederate Cemetery, venerating spirit and glory. In May 1867, the Ladies Memorial Association of Manassas established the Confederate Cemetery on an acre of land donated by former Confederate Colonel and Mrs. William Sanford Fewell. They donated this land for the reburial of Confederate soldiers who had died in camps, hospitals, or farmhouses during the autumn of 1861 and the winter of 1862. The monument in front of you, dedicated in 1889, includes a marble plaque. Dedicated by the Ladies Memorial Association of Manassas on August 30th, 1889, to the heroes of Virginia and her sister states who yielded their lives on July 18th and 21st, 1861, and August 28th, 29th, and 30th, 1862, in defense of the Confederate cause. I don't think I've ever been here. Okay. Nice memorial. This is my last stop on my Civil War tour. Fort Mayfield, which I understand was a Confederate fort of some kind, and the lady at the Manassas Park, Manassas Museum, told me there were Quaker cannon. One of only 2 surviving Civil War fortifications in the city of Manassas, built by Confederate troops in the spring of 1861 on the Hoe family farm, Mayfield. Now, the Hoe family, they're also called Hoos. There's a Hoos Road, which is called by old-timers Hose Road in Springfield. So, same family. Here we are at the Mayfield Civil War Fort. There's a cannon. We're on a redoubt. And what are those? They look like cannon, but they're not. They're made out of wood. They are, in fact, Quaker guns. Some of the Confederate cannons placed at Manassas and nearby Centerville were for show only. These non-functioning cannon were intended to deceive Union soldiers who might turn their telescopes on the earthworks. This was nothing other than a huge mock guns of wood, Quaker guns as they have come to be called. Some of these Quaker guns are mere logs with the bark on, just as they came from the tree. Others have the end pointing outward, colored black. Others again are fashioned into the form of a Columbiad, blackened at the muzzle and for about 2/3 of the length, and having bungholes bored at the breech. In these forts I personally saw at least 12 more or less trimmed to the shape of heavy siege guns, and blackened, and some 20 more not subjected to this artistic process of deception. The object of this Quaker gun trick was, of course, to create the impression that the heaviest artillery known to the science of war opened their jaws through the portholes of that range of earthworks. And if you look at this plaque, you will see Union soldiers examining hastily fashioned Quaker guns set in place by retreating forces. And then this great photograph of a Quaker gun in the Library of Congress. There's a fellow about to touch off a Quaker gun. A humorous photograph here on the outskirts of Manassas. You know, I've read about Quaker guns, Civil War books I've read, but I have never seen one. Here they are. Pretty cool. Looks like some redneck lit fire to this plaque Nice going. One more thing about the spot. On this hill stood Mayfield, the home of the Who family, built circa 1770. A two-story structure of local red sandstone, the home was dismantled in 1940. The foundations, stone-lined well, and family cemetery remain. Looks like we got some rain. Looks like we're going to encounter a little bit of rain on the way home. Just play it cool, Daddy-o. No sudden moves. I am recording. Yeah, I am. What is the deal with I-95? Why does it suck so often? Why am I encountering traffic going into DC? This doesn't make any sense. Okay, what have I learned? Here's what I've learned. When coming home from Manassas, take Yates, Ford Road, and Henderson Road. Don't take I-95 because it sucks. The other way is more picturesque and less crowded. I thought this would be faster. Why did I think that? Back home again. I left at about 10:30. It is now 1:30. That was only about a 3-hour ride, but it's better than nothing. Hence, the better than nothing ride.